piece hangs down a little bit on the bumper, and then just looking straight down at it, you want to be under this black trim piece, and then just follow the edge with a Sharpie or a piece of tape, and then cut along the whole top of the truck. Take a little grinding wheel like we did, and just finish this edge up nice and tight, just so the bumper doesn't interact. You don't got to put trim on it or anything like that. And then these side pieces are similar. They'll be sitting like that from factory, and you just want to take this inside groove, follow the Sharpie on there, get a cutoff wheel, take your time, go a couple passes, and then once you're done with this piece, get another cutoff wheel, file, whatever you choose, and make that edge nice and clean before the install. All right, so once you get the whole OEM plastic front bumper off, you're gonna have this big old crash bar that's left, and you need to remove these 2 bolts, or these 4 bolts from the top, 2 on each side, and then underneath, there's gonna be 2 more on each side, 2 here, 2 back here. I've got them slightly pulled out already. And then once you remove the crash bar, be sure to save 4 more of these, or 4 of these, for installing the bumper. You ready? Cool, so Toyota gives us these little alignment studs here on the truck. They're gonna go into these slots right here. So I'm gonna have Kirk help me. We're gonna move the bumper forward. And then make sure you've got 2 of those OEM threaded bolts that we're gonna put in these bottom holes once the bumper's hung. Gonna get it into place. All right. They just get the threads on the bottom started on one of the holes. All right, once you're mostly in, you can go ahead and just let it hang. And we're gonna collect 2 of these M10 bolts with 2 1/2-inch washers and the lock nuts that go with them. These are gonna go in the 2 top mounting holes. Just to you, get that. Threads facing up. So it's gonna go bolt, washer through the bottom, through the OEM mounting hole, washer, and then nut on top. And just put that on until the nylon part of the nut stops spinning. And then do the same with another bolt. All right, then go ahead and put the other bottom OEM bolt in the threaded stud. Keep everything loose for now. Okay, so for the top mount, we're gonna slide this bolt through this hole right here. We're gonna fish this washer between the frame and the bumper to act as a spacer. So I'm gonna hold it in, slide the bolt in. Then we're going to finish that off with another washer and then the nylock nut, and then we'll snug this guy up first. All right, we're going to try to get the bumper set up as high as possible. So I'm going to tighten these 2, not fully tight. We're going to tighten them down until the bumper's touching the top. Then we're going to let off of it a little bit. So I've got a 15 mil socket here, 15 mil wrench, and then a 17 socket on top. Okay, pull it up nice and tight. Do the other one. Okay. We'll leave a little bit of slack in those, so it's fairly pulling up. Let's go do the other side. Same thing. Back off a little bit. The next one we're going to tight is this loose one up top. That's going to hold the bumper back so it sits flush with the front of the grill. On this bolt, you're going to want to snug it down all the way so there's no slap in this 1/2-inch or this moon spacer behind it. Same on the other side. Once those two are done, go back to the top. Snug these guys down all the way. Perfect. And then you'll go back to the OEM bolts on the bottom. It will fully tighten those guys as well. All right, so once the bumper's fully mounted up, there's a plastic clip right here on this side of the truck and then one on the inside of the vehicle. We need to remove those to put the winch support bracket on. So just use a flathead or a knife or something similar to get them to there and just pop those guys out. Then you'll take your winch support bracket and these two holes are going to line up with the two holes provided on this gusset. So you'll line it like so, flush with the back. And then you'll want to take your 1-inch carriage bolts from the back side through the square hole and line it up with the hole right there. Washer, lock washer, nut. Same with the bottom hole. Leave that loose for now. And then we're going to take our 14mm bolt with a 1/2-inch washer, slide through the hole right here, all the way through the frame. Come around the back side, get your 1/2 moon washer, and then get your nut. Screw it down there, and then go ahead and tighten everything up. At this point, the bumper's fully installed, so you can add any accessories. We're gonna add a couple light pods in here from Diode and then our worn winch, so stay tuned for that. If you're installing a winch, we want to put this trim bracket back on, but if you notice when this is here, it kind of blocks the winch clutch. So we provide you with another bracket that's gonna mount on top. So what you need to do is pull these two bolts out, pull these two nuts out, get this bracket off, and then we'll reinstall it with the provided bracket like this. Just to show it. So we'll loosely install the left side with the OEM hardware. Not cross thread it. Here. And we're going to mount the RCI bracket. The same two mounting locations. Snug it to the other side as well. All right, so after the bumper's installed, we're gonna put the OEM bumper back on. Make sure to lift it over the stock bumper. Kind of watch out for the headlight, make sure you're staying below that. And then these clips are gonna go back over the mounting points that you took them off on. So just kind of finesse it a little bit, pull it into place, make sure everything lines up. And then we're gonna pull the side of the bumper back up. Actually, yep, we're gonna clip it in. And go ahead, just push along the truck, make sure everything's clipped in. And then we're gonna go back and install all the hardware on top and bottom to get her all buttoned back up. Once you get this, don't forget to plug back in the sensors on the top of the bumper. All right, last part of the install on this truck, we're gonna put these little trim brackets on here. So there's a hole on the bumper down here. These are gonna set up on top of it. And then this part is gonna go up over the bumper like so. And then we're gonna use hardware to tie it in. So first part, we'll use a carriage bolt. Go through the bottom of the bumper, take the bracket, align it on top of that, take your washer, your lock washer, your nut, get that started. All right, and then we're gonna take our hex bolt. I like to pinch, put the trim piece between the bumper and the bracket. So I get this started by pushing it through the hole, pushing it through the trim. Setting this on top of the bolt to secure it. Same process, washer, lock, washer, nut. And then get that started. What I like to do, if your bumper seems to be a little too close to the factory bumper, you can pull this out a little bit and then tighten it to where you want it to sit. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this side and repeat for the other side of the truck.